Welcome back to the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Game. We're at the bar set now to ask the analyst, guys, a guy who was very instrumental of bringing this potential rejoinment of friendship together. Mike Foss was very excited. The episode title is Couples Therapy. Mike, well, you got any words of, you're happily married, you got any words of wisdom for these two as they try to mend things?
You know, normally in your, normally it's the old happy wife, happy life. That's about all I got. I mean, I'm no Dr. Drew or anything here, but that's about all I got.
What are the people saying out there? Anybody,
we'll go with that for now.
Got
all right, well, we'll
for?
jump in. We'll start with the Tigers. And we'll start with Trevor, who says that even though the Tigers are playing phenomenal, the injuries are coming at the worst time. Zimmerman was handled poorly. Ray says with the rash of injuries, the Tigers regret not making the move at the deadline. And Jeff checking in with a scorching hot take on the Lions. Lions of 5 wins written all over them. Start fresh with a new head coach next year and a second offseason for Quinn to build depth, guys.
You know, it's interesting because Bob Quinn just came out and said there's no playoff mandate for Jim Caldwell to keep his job. What did you guys think of that?
Well, I think if Caldwell wins 5 games, then he'll lose his job. But yeah, I mean, you can't put hard and fast mandates because what if Matthew Stafford goes down and you're cruising along at the time? Then I think at some point you got to have some leeway there. But the schedule's set up, the talent is set up that I really believe that the Lions should be a playoff contender or Caldwell should be on the hot seat.
What about the Tigers standing pat at the trade deadline? Now the injuries have, of course, you know, hindsight's 20/20, but I still think they made the right move by not doing anything and kind of see what they can do themselves.
I tend to agree because you have to think about next year and the year after that too. You have to think about the long-term health of the franchise. And I noticed the person had said that these injuries are coming at the worst time for the Tigers, and I tend to disagree. It's not October and it's not September. I mean, there's never a good time for injuries, but you're winning right now, even with some of these guys nicked up. It's not a bad time for these things to happen. I think you still have time to get healthy and put together.
Well, it's nice. Jordan Zimmerman will be retroactive back to a previous time when he came back a little too early. I don't know if it was handled poorly. I mean, you got to ask the player, hey, are you ready to go out and do it? And Zimmerman probably rehabbed enough and said, yeah, I feel pretty good to do it. And then it just happened. So I don't know if it was poorly handled or not. It's up to the player, really. I mean, you guys have seen injuries where players say, I'm ready to go, and the player isn't.
Right. I mean, we talked about it earlier. They needed starting pitching. The price tag for starting pitching was absurd, and you saw what the deals were for the guys that did move. So you can't keep mortgaging your future. This organization's done it far too long. Avila's bringing a different approach to the table, and you got to roll with what you have.
They do. They certainly do. Thank you for the tweets. We have an exciting announcement about the tweets coming up in a couple of weeks, so keep an eye on that and keep tweeting, and we always appreciate it. All right, coming up next, guys, the Beer Mile. Have you heard of it?
I think I should have.
Well,
I'm intrigued.
I've met the world record holder. He lives in Windsor, and we're going to see him challenge me to part of the event. That's coming up next here on the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Game. Stay with us. Ooh, soared that one. Got another one, right?